What is going down, Niner faithful? Welcome back to another video. Niners defeated the Bucs yesterday, 31-17. Not the best offensive performance. The defense stepped up big time, though. I mean, Bosa pressuring the quarterback. D Ford had a strip sack. Bosa actually had 2 sacks. I mean, it was consistent pressure throughout the whole entire game, and I haven't seen that from the Niners defense since the Harbaugh era, when we had a pretty stellar defensive line back then as well. But this defense is starting to come around, calls pressure to the quarterback. The Niners forced 3 interceptions yesterday. We only had a total of 2 interceptions last season. Niners forced 3 interceptions yesterday on Jameis Winston. Now, I do get Jameis Winston is a turnover machine, but for the Niners only having 2 interceptions last year, come into this game and have 3 and immediately break that, get the monkey off the back and break that record from last year. It feels good knowing that the defense. It feels good knowing that we have D Ford, Nick Bosa, Buckner, Eric Armstead, all these guys on this defensive line that are causing the pressure to the quarterback is exactly why we won the game yesterday. Defense won the game. Robert Saleh, good play calling, except for that 3rd and long we had, where he had about 6 defenders back way too deep. They threw a little screen pass, and Ronald Jones got a first down on a 3rd and 17. He got 18 yards. That's unacceptable. That was about the only flaw Robert Saleh had. Aside from that, though, the Niners, the defense was just a powerhouse. Constant pressure. Jameis Winston couldn't do anything. Keller Witherspoon had a pick 6, and here's the big one. Sherman's got his first pick now in a 49er uniform, and that first pick he had on the Niners was a pick 6. So feels good to go into Tampa Bay, get a week 1 win on the road. A lot of ESPN predicted us to be the underdogs in that game. I don't see how, because Jameis Winston is absolutely terrible. Bruce Arians being the quarterback whisperer, I don't want to hear that bullshit no more. Jameis Winston is, I don't think there's nobody that can help him. He's just terrible. Here's another thing. On the offensive side of the ball, 3 touchdowns called back for the Niners. It was a Raheem Mostert run on the outside, right outside corner, and then 2 Kittle passes from Garoppolo, 2 touchdown passes from Garoppolo to Kittle were called back from offensive penalties. One was a holding, and then one was I believe it was a holding on McGlinchey, and the other one was an offense pass interference call on Kyle Juszczyk. So that's unacceptable. We gotta get rid of that. And the offense has got to play better. Garoppolo didn't do terrible. If I had to rate his performance, probably be around a C maybe. He could have done better. Tampa Bay's defense didn't look terrible, but they were definitely bad, and they were definitely more worse than ours. But Garoppolo had a pick 6. Vernon Hargreaves, there was a little comeback route, curl. Marquise Goodwin, I believe, was the intended target, but Vernon Hargreaves was just sitting back. Garoppolo decided to throw it for whatever reason. Hargreaves jumps the route, takes it back for 6. That's got to be erased too. Garoppolo's got to learn better from these mistakes. And if Garoppolo can step it up and play a little bit better than he's playing now, I get this was his 11th start. This is his first regular season game back. As long as if he can get comfortable again like he was in 2017 and start scoring and this offense picks up, his team can get into the playoffs. But Garoppolo, it's up to Garoppolo, because however Garoppolo performs is how the whole team's going to perform, and that's just how it goes. But the defense stepped up big time, and Garoppolo didn't perform well yesterday. So it's a good thing we had that defense, because if we would have had the same defense as last year, we'd have got sliced up easily on turnovers, penalties, things upon that nature. We had way too many penalties as well. So with getting this win, yes, it was a good win. You guys get the point, but we still got to work on penalties. We still got to work on Garoppolo's got to get a little. Garoppolo's got to get a little bit better. And if he can just step it up maybe 2 or 3 more notches from what he's at now, this team will be in a prime position to get into the postseason. But he's got to stay healthy. The whole team's got to stay healthy. There's got to be lesser penalties, and Garoppolo's just got to play lights out. So not bad for a Week 1 performance for Garoppolo. Probably like a C, C minus maybe. He definitely can play better, and hopefully he can play better and will play better Week 2 against the Bengals. Now on the injury side, Tevin Coleman went down with an injury yesterday, high ankle sprain. Happened on the first play of the game. Decided to play through the injury, and the injury got worse as the game progressed, which was definitely not a smart decision. But he will not play Week 2 against Cincinnati, and it'll be week to week after Week 2. So after he sits out of Cincinnati game or of the Cincinnati game, Shanahan said to reporters today that it'll be week to week after that. So definitely not going to miss significant time, but maybe miss 2. At the most, he'll miss 3 weeks, which I don't see happening. I can see him missing Week 3 in the home opener against the Steelers, but who knows? We'll have to see. But there's no timetable really on his return other than he'll miss this next week coming up against the Bengals, and then obviously it's a week to week after that. So Niners defeat the Bucs 31-17. Quan Alexander, I got to speak on him really quick before I end the video. That was bullshit by the referees. Now I get it was a bullshit play by him. Yes, I get it. He led with the head. It's against it's violating the NFL rules, whatever. But that was his home opener back.